Topic time!
It's topic time.
And welcome back to Comic Frontline, everybody. I am Brant Fowler, aka the Gonzo Goose, back with you for another episode of Topic Time. For this Topic Time, I thought it'd be fun to do a top 10 list talking about the most anticipated genre movies of 2019, in my opinion. Now, there are a bunch of movies coming out next year. I counted about 38 genre movies, and my classification was if it was like geek culture, like comic or like novel-related books based on novels, or kind of spins on those kind of things, or really popular movies. Like I included Charlie's Angels and things like that in Fast and Furious in the running if they're really popular franchises and things like that. Obviously science fiction, horror. I included all this stuff. I left out like the drama and the straight, straight story kind of stuff, but I included animated even though I don't think any animated made my list. But I included all these movies, so I had 38 movies that I whittled down to 10. And before I get into those 10, honorable mention goes to Aladdin, which would have come in at number 11 for me, only because we haven't seen a whole lot of footage from it, and there's some questions about certain things with the effects and stuff with the genie. So I love Aladdin. It's like one of my favorite all-time Disney movies, and I'm really looking forward to that one. But because we haven't seen enough of it, it came in just below the list. So let's get into my top 10 most anticipated genre movies for 2019. Coming in at number 10 is Artemis Fowl. This is based on a young adult novel series about this kid who wears a suit. He's like rich kid, but he's kind of richy rich, but he's fighting a war with fairies in this hidden land that's just underneath ours, and they're kind of seeping up into the real world and stuff like that. I've read part of one Artemis Fowl book, and it was really fun, and I really got into it. So when they announced this, I thought it was really cool, and the trailer looks really neat. So that is my number 10. Number 9, Glass. I was a huge fan of Unbreakable. I saw it with my cousin in the theater when it came out, and then we saw Lisa and I watched Split together. So Glass completes that trifecta. I'm really looking forward to that one as well. Been a big fan of that. It's like it obviously wasn't the first, but it was like the first comic movie that wasn't actually based on a comic kind of thing. It was one of the first. It was just different. It was one of those that was really different. I know there were a lot of cheesy ones, but this one wasn't cheesy. So seeing a follow-up to Unbreakable and having all the characters together is really exciting to me. Number 8 is a movie called Brightburn. Now, if you haven't heard of this is James Gunn's next big project, and it is a very dark, horrific take on Superman. If you haven't watched the trailer, you should go check it out. Elizabeth Banks is a mom, and she's trying to have a child, can't have a child. Rocket lands in their field, they have this child, but something's a little off about him. He can do things other kids can't, and then it gets really dark and really spooky. And it's just this really out there take on Superman. If you're a Superman fan, you're definitely going to want to check this out. So Brightburn comes in at number 8. Number 7, Men in Black International with Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth. This is a different kind of tone for a Men in Black movie. I watched the trailer the other day, and it still had some of the comedy, but it was far less comical than the Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones ones. And like this different vibe. It's the British division, and so obviously it would be a little bit more serious. It's more James Bondy, but with all the aliens and everything too. So it looks pretty fun, and I'm curious to see what they do different with this version of Men in Black. Number 6, Shazam. This movie really surprised me when they started releasing trailers. When they announced who was going to be Shazam, I was really skeptical. I liked Chuck. I liked him in the second Thor movie, the second and third Thor movies, but I just wasn't sure if Zachary Levi could pull off Shazam. But when we saw that trailer, it was like, oh, this looks like a lot of fun. So now I'm hyped for it, and that's why it comes in number 6. All right, we're getting to top 5. This next one is going to be a little bit lower than some of you would have probably put it, I would wager. The Lion King. Now, I love The Lion King. It's not my favorite. I actually like Aladdin better than The Lion King. I know that's blasphemy, sacrilege, whatever. But I really do like Lion King. But again, it's the same story. I think it's going to be really cool. It did make my top 5, obviously, but it's not my most anticipated. But I am looking forward to it. Number 4, Star Wars Episode 9. Again, probably going to be some disagreement out there for this one. Some of you probably have it much lower. Some of you probably have it a lot higher. But for me, it's like I've really enjoyed this trilogy, but there are some other genre movies that I'm just looking forward to a little bit more. This one is going to be a conclusion, so then we're going to another chapter. And plus, there's just this Star Wars overdoing that they're doing lately, where we're getting so much Star Wars between the comics and the movies and the TV, and it's just a lot of Star Wars. But again, still top 5. Number 3, Spider-Man Far From Home. See, you thought that was going to be my number 1. I mean, no, I really, really, really loved the first Tom Holland Spider-Man. I thought it was fantastic. But there are still a couple of other movies that ranked a little bit higher for me for next year. And it could prove me wrong. Spider-Man Far From Home could become my favorite movie. I don't know. We will have to see. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I am looking forward to the sequel. I love Spider-Man with his supporting cast and alone in the film. But there's some cool stuff coming. So, number 2, and this again may be some disagreement here, Captain Marvel. Not my number 1, but it's up there, and it's higher than Spider-Man for me, and it's because it's the first Marvel female-led movie in the superhero genre. You know, it's this huge deal, and plus it looks really cool. You get the introduction of the Skrulls, you get Carol Danvers' story, and it's going to tie into the whole MCU, and it leads right into her possibly coming in Avengers Endgame. So it's really cool. And speaking of that, my number 1, of course, is Avengers Endgame, because, I mean, come on, that last movie was just, whoa. I got to see what happens. I got to see if they're able to bring people back, who they bring back. Obviously, Spider-Man's got to come back, so Spider-Man could be in the movie, even if it's at the very end. I still get my Spider-Man fix in my number 1 pick, so it's just really cool. I want to see how they're able to turn it around and what it sets the stage for going forward in the Marvel Cinematic Universe into Phase 4. So, those are my top 10 most anticipated genre movies for 2019. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below on what yours are, what you think of mine. If you think I'm wrong, if you agree with me, whatever, leave a comment below. Hit the like on the video if you liked it. Hit the subscribe and notification bell so you get updates when new content goes up on this channel. Check out all the other Topic Time videos and all the other content here on Comic Frontline. As for me, you can check me out on my channel at Brant Fowler. New content coming starting next week. On my channel, we have Monday Musings plus new series starting as well. So that's going to be fun stuff. And you can follow me on social media at Brant Fowler. On Instagram at Last Number Press. Check out lastnumberpress.com, zone4podcast.com. And until next time, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Topic time. It's topic time.